Today I learned Sweden has a hotel for sourdough starters that cares for travelers' bread dough while they go traveling. Today I learned penguins can drink salt water because of glands near their eyes that remove salt from their bloodstream, and then they can sneeze out the extra salt. Today I learned children have more energy than endurance athletes. They have fatigue-resistant muscles, and they recover faster than adults. Much of this stems from their ability to uptake and distribute oxygen, as well as synergize energy faster. Today, I learned about a spy-themed restaurant called the Safe House. It was founded in 1966, and it has a hidden location with a secret entrance. A password is needed to enter, and if it's not given, patrons will have to do silly tasks that are broadcasted to people inside the restaurant in order to enter. Today, I learned that Doctor Who briefly featured Camelian, an android who was played by an actual robot. Unfortunately, the writers had to kill the character off when the robot's inventor, who was the only one who knew how to control it, died in a boating accident. Today, I learned George Michael wrote his hit single Careless Whisper at 17 years old out of sheer boredom while riding the bus to work. Despite its success, he was not happy with the song, and in a 2009 interview with The Big Issue, he said he was a bit puzzled why it made such an impression on people. Today, I learned that in 1975 David Bowie and Dennis Hopper broke into a psychiatric ward wearing spacesuits to deliver cocaine to Iggy Pop. Today, I learned when NASA used electronic computers for the first time to calculate John Glenn's orbit around Earth, officials called on Katherine Johnson to verify the computer's numbers. Glenn had asked for her specifically and had refused to fly unless Johnson verified the calculations. Today, I learned about Wendell Fertig, a U.S. serviceman who, rather than surrender with the bulk of U.S. forces during the Japanese invasion of the Philippines, self-promoted himself to brigadier general and organized pockets of Filipino fighters and other U.S. servicemen into a highly effective guerrilla force. Today, I learned that Stephen Colbert donated his portrait to the Smithsonian Institution, which accepted it initially on loan, and displayed it between two bathrooms and above a water fountain at the National Portrait Gallery. Today, I learned a kidney is donated. The single normal kidney will increase in size to compensate for the loss of the donated kidney. Today, I learned ranch dressing was invented by a plumber working in Alaska in the 1950s. He and his wife opened a dude ranch called Hidden Valley Ranch in Santa Barbara County, California in 1954. 40% of Americans say ranch-style dressing is their favorite. It has been the best-selling salad dressing since 1992. Today, I learned lighthouses had different techniques for rotating the light, most being too slow, making the light less visible. Augustin Fresnel proposed a mercury flotation system in 1825, despite some lenses weighing over 6,000 pounds. The design reduced friction, increased rotation, and ultimately saved lives. Today, I learned that Giovanni Cassini measured the size of France accurately for the first time during the reign of King Louis Roman XIV. The true size turned out to be much smaller than Louis had expected, and Louis quipped that Cassini had taken more of his kingdom from him than he had won in all his wars. Today, I learned that after the 2011 Japanese nuclear plant in Fukushima was disabled by an earthquake-tsunami double whammy, elderly Japanese people volunteered to do repairs to save young people from radiation exposure. Today, I learned whenever we sleep in unfamiliar surroundings, only half your brain is getting a good night's rest while the other half stands guard. Today, I learned Hasbro, the toy company behind the likes of My Little Pony and Furby, owns Death Row Records, which includes the rights to records by Tupac, Dr. Dre, and Snoop Dogg. Today, I learned that the Vatican's bank is the only one in existence that allows ATM users to perform transactions in Latin. Today, I learned that Texas has its own separate electrical grid from the rest of the US. This was done for political purposes so that they didn't have to deal with federal regulations. Today, I learned Apple's policy of refusing to repair phones that have undergone unauthorized repairs is illegal in Australia due to their right to repair law. Today, I learned that while there are multiple elements named after countries americium, francium, germanium, polonium, there is only one country named after an element. Argentina is derived from argentum, the Latin name for silver. The symbol for silver is Ag. Today, I learned Jeopardy! Contestants stand on adjustable platforms so that they all appear to be the same height on camera. Today, I learned that the former CEO of Coca-Cola, Roberto Goizueta, was the first person to become a billionaire by being an employee and not a company founder or heir. Today, I learned that Aboriginal Australians often traveled to Indonesia for trade, and when British explorers first visited inland Australia, they met an Aboriginal man who had already learned English from his visit to Singapore. Today, I learned while filming a 170-foot waterfall in the movie Apocalypto, a cow was trying to cross upstream and went over the falls. It emerged at bottom, banging against the rocks, but after a local man swam in to calm the cow, it then climbed up the bank and began eating grass as if nothing had happened. Today I learned. In 1832, a Japanese sailing ship traveling from Nagoya to Tokyo was blown off course. In 1834, it eventually ended up where current-day Washington State is, with 3 out of 14 crew members surviving. Today, I learned that the oldest known domesticated dog remains are over 14,000 years old. The dog died young and is unlikely to have been much use to humans. Nevertheless, it was buried in an elaborate grave alongside 2 humans. Today, I learned that the famous Madame Tussaud started out in Paris during the French Revolution. Marie Tussaud used to make death masks of famous people whose heads had been chopped by the guillotine. She went on tour to Britain for 30 years with her collection before setting up her waxworks in London. Today, I learned in Japanese tradition, rabbits live on the moon where they make matcha, the popular snack of mashed sticky rice. This comes from interpreting the pattern of dark patches on the moon as a rabbit standing on tiptoes on the left pounding on inyuzu, a Japanese mortar. Today, I learned that the movie Independence Day still holds the record for most miniature models to appear in one film. Approximately 95% of the movie's special effects were shot using miniatures, and due to the advances in digital technology, this record may stand forever. Today, I learned a German man, Martin Huygens, claims the moon has belonged to his family since 1756, when the Prussian king presented it to his ancestor as a symbolic gesture for services rendered. It was decreed the moon would pass to the youngest born son. Today, I learned some of the important decisions in WW2 could not be made because Hitler was sleeping, and he liked to sleep up till noon. On D-Day invasion, the German officers couldn't get further command from Hitler because of strict orders not to wake him up for any reason. Today, I learned the only clear footage of the first plane hitting the World Trade Center on 9/11 was filmed by French filmmakers who were making a documentary on a Manhattan firehouse. Today, I learned Stevie Wonder wasn't actually born blind, but became so at 6 weeks old due to the incubator he was placed in after birth containing too much oxygen and causing the condition retinopathy of prematurity. Today, I learned that author and radio host Amy Krauss Rosenthal publicly announced that she had ovarian cancer by writing a modern love essay for the NY Times that was a dating profile for her soon-to-be widower husband. She died 10 days after publication. Today, I learned children's author Shel Silverstein has won 2 Grammy Awards. one for the audio recording of Where the Sidewalk Ends, and the other for writing Johnny Cash's famous song, A Boy Named Sue. Today, I learned that Neil Armstrong's heart rate spiked to 150 plus when NASA turned the control over to him for the moon landing. Today, I learned of the new Cult Awareness Network, which provides information on cults, is owned and operated by Associates of the Church of Scientology. Today, I learned Larry Bird was once bored, so he played against the Portland Trail Blazers with his left hand. He finished the game with 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists.